Hello, in this video I'm going to be doing an overview of the new No Man's Land event, as this event is pretty big, kind of a new layout, and well, it is just a new layout as the tank is now free to earn, unlike the previous version which was for the Tiger Mouse, which was not free. So, No Man's Land event. Unfortunately, this is the second recording of this video, so I've already... The first time it didn't have any sound, so I've already kind of done some of the things, but I'll explain it in a moment. Basically, when this event starts, you'll open this page, this will be a blank square, and this will not be completed. So the first thing you want to do is click claim on this. That will add this building here, and it will also unlock these two other buildings for you. Now, these two won't be built. You have to spend, I think, some credits to build these buildings, but it is worth doing. So what these buildings do, I don't think the HQ actually does anything, but these other two buildings do actually allow you to earn extra event currency, and the reason you do want that is because there's a lot of event stages, and sure, you don't need to complete every single one to get to the Prowler, but all of them do have rewards, and some of them are kind of worth going down, especially if you're a player who has a newer account or you're free to play. Some of these rewards are like really worth getting, such as these cooldown boosters, which you can't really get outside of spending gold. They're pretty rare in the store. And also other things such as the upgrade components for these buildings. So what do these buildings do? The maintenance depot allows you to get free event currency once per 24 hours. Without any upgrades, this thing starts out as giving you 6 per 24 hours, but as I've upgraded it once, because that's what this stage gives you, some upgrade parts, it now gives me 7. So, of course, you can also get more upgrade components from the map, so upgrading it to give 8 per day, for example. But, next, the gunning field. This other building allows you to get extra, well, tokens to complete the stages per mastery badge. Without this building, it won't give you any extra tokens for mastery badges in battle. So make sure you get this building, because if you have a nice battle, you get a good mastery badge, you will get some extra event currency for the event. And of course, upgrading it, I think it gives you more event currency per mastery badge. Yeah, so you can see each mastery badge you get with each upgrade level, it gives you more and more tokens, which of course just allows you to complete the event much quicker. So the main way you do get these tokens to win and progress the event is by winning battles. Of course, you do want to get these buildings, because then that gives you an extra sort of form of quote-unquote revenue for these tokens, especially the gunning field, as if you're winning a lot, if you're getting good battles, it will just allow you to, well, upgrade the, well, go along the paths much quicker, just for each token that you manage to get. Now, I'm not sure exactly how many tokens you get per victory. I wonder if it will say 1 token for each victory. So yeah, that is why you want to upgrade these buildings, because the gunning field, it does give you 1 token per mastery at the first stage and up to 5 at the last stage, so that makes your event progress much quicker. But basically, win battles, get mastery badges, and go along the event paths. One thing to note about the paths is there are multiple different ways you can go. So I thoroughly recommend, when this event starts on your server, which is at the ×2 XP reset time, go in, check out every stage of the event to see kind of what path you want to take and what rewards you want to get. Some of them do lead to dead ends, but they still give rewards, such as up here. These ones just give some boosters for you if you want to collect those. And then some of them have these campfires on them, which have a tin of mackerel, yeah, General's Mackerel number 2, which can be used on the stage directly after it to give you some extra rewards. In this case, General's Mackerel 2 gives you these upgrade components for the buildings, and this one, General's Mackerel 1, gives you, well, it basically gives you a shortcut to get through the stages. It's the same for the last one in this event as well, which is here. This costs 15 to get through, and then you use the General's Mackerel here, whereas if you have to go around here to get to the Prowler, then it will cost you 36, so it is just a shortcut. But make sure you do check out the quests themselves, because this one is win 4 battles in a row, which can be pretty annoying, especially as you only have 2 hours to complete it. But the first one is much easier, do 20,000 damage in 1 day. So you do have to check it out, kind of actually strategize what path you're going to take to actually get to the Prowler. But the Prowler itself is actually free. As you can see, the tents are the free path, and you can actually make a path towards the Prowler and unlock the tank completely for free. Now once you get there, you can use these tokens even after achieving the Prowler to continue unlocking these Valor containers, which have a chance to drop a legendary camo, but for the most part it's going to be boosters and upgrade material. But that's still worth getting, because the upgrade material will let you upgrade your buildings, you'll be able to get more tokens, unlock more of these crates, and have a higher chance of getting a legendary camo. And I'll just quickly show the chances, the drop chances for this crate. You can see it's not a very high drop chance for the legendary camos, but it does all add up. I'm not sure exactly what the total chance is for a camo, but yeah. And then the other crate you can get after unlocking the Prowler is for free XP. This one does contain some tanks. Their drop chance is pretty low though, so I would say this crate isn't exactly worth spending your free XP on, and the tanks are from tiers 5 to 8. So I'd say save your free XP, don't spend it on this crate, it's not exactly worth it. Now, if you have some gold saved up, and you got some gold to spend, you can go the Mercenaries path, which is all going to cost gold. In total, if you don't go along any of the extra dead end stages like this one, it will cost you 14,900 gold to get the Prowler, which, to be fair, considering this tank, it's the second time back, it's the only time it's really been actually available to the masses with a decently easy way to get. 14,900 gold for what is essentially a first sale isn't the worst thing in the world, especially as it is a pretty unique tank. But for gold, other than that, you can also open the golden containers, which cost 1,500 gold. The main reason you do this is for the axe, which, yeah, you might see all these tanks here. Yes, they do have a chance of dropping, but it's not a great chance. The main reason you buy this is to get the axe or the upgrade components, as this will allow you to open this crate, the airdrop container, which you need the axe to open. And this one is the one with the best tanks out of this event. So you have a chance to get some tier 9 or 10 tanks, and I think their drop chance is relatively decent, it looks like. I have no idea how that's possible, how they have such a high drop chance. But yeah, for 1,500 gold, it doesn't seem like a terrible deal, but I'm not sure. It seems kind of weird that the drop chances are that high on this crate. But basically, you can use those to also get event currency, as they do also contain the tokens you need to progress through the event. And then finally, you do get one free XP container from one of the event stages on the free path, but I mean, that's up to you if you want to go for it. The drop chances of tanks are not high, and for the most part you do just get boosters and some tokens and stuff. But yeah, that is the event page for the No Man's Land event. Basically, it's a big map, you progress along it, you can either spend gold or you can grind it for wins, and then you get to the Prowler at the end, which is not a bad reward. But again, I'd recommend you check out the event yourself, check the event stages to see kind of what path you can expect to take, just to kind of, well, not spend tokens on the wrong path, for example. Such as here, if you were going to, well, if you knew you weren't going to be able to get 4 wins in a row in 2 hours, then you wouldn't go for the campfire, which still costs you 15. 15 would take you halfway along this other path which skirts around the campfire. So do make sure you spend your tokens correctly and don't waste it on something which you aren't going to be able to progress past. One thing I did forget to mention, which is pretty important, if you do want to get the Almas tank for Reforged, which will also be free, but that's a longer event which is happening until the release of Reforged, make sure you get these 2 stages. They contain 3 tanker rings each, which gives you 6. You do need, I think, 30 for the Almas, which is currently called the Toxic. You need 30 in total for those, and you can get them over the next 2 months. So these 6 tanker rings in this event are going to be pretty important if you do want to get that tank completely for free, which I'd say it's worth doing. If you get the Prowler early and you can go back and complete some extra stages, I would say do that, especially as this one is an alternative to this campfire route. Personally, I'd recommend don't go up because it just gives credits. Go down, as sure, it may take a bit longer, but you do get at least 3 of the tanker rings, which is worth getting for the Almas tank. But yeah, free Prowler, which is pretty nice, and the Prowler itself is a pretty decent tank. It has almost been power crept by the IS-5 because the IS-5 got a massive mobility buff, but the Prowler does still do a fair few things better than the IS-5. It's a pretty unique tank. It's a heavium, so it doesn't have the best armor, but it's not like it's paper. The front of the turret is pretty weak, and the lower plate is large, but it still has really strong turret cheeks and an upper plate. And for that, you get really, really good mobility. It's 17.6 horsepower per ton, but you have a really high top speed of 47 in how I've set this tank up with gear oil, and you have, well, the engine power boost, which gets you up to a really high 52 km/h top speed when you do activate that. This is a really unique tank for tier 8 because you do just have every consumable, every provision available at your disposal. On top of that, it does also have a pretty unique kind of gun, 420 Alpha with actually decent DPM. Sure, its accuracy is not the best, but it's a lot better than tanks like the IS-5 or IS-6, and you've got just that extra 20 Alpha, which is pretty unique for tier 8. There's not many which do 420 Alpha while still having a decent level of DPM. But for me, I would recommend you don't use stuff like reactive armor or sandbag armor on this tank, because they take up a crucial consumable and provision slot. This thing, just like the IS-5, is kind of all about the mobility. So, you know, engine power boost and tungsten shells do it really well, and on top of that, gear oil, of course, combined with fuel and food. Personally, for me, that's how I would go with on this tank. But the Prowler, I really like this tank. I think it's quite fun, it's quite unique for how it plays, and heavium players should really enjoy this. Definitely a worthy reward, especially as you can get it for free, and it's basically the first release of this tank, as previously it was impossible to get. But yeah, I will have some gameplay of the Prowler coming later today, if you guys want to keep watch out for that, as, you know, I haven't done it in this video just to not make it too long, but there is also a review on my website and a previous review on YouTube for the Prowler with some gameplay if you do want to check that out. But yeah, that is it for the No Man's Land event. Let me know what you guys think of this event. I think it's pretty cool that you have a lot more interaction with this event compared to other events. You choose your event path to go through, and you have to kind of upgrade these buildings, which does just add a bit more to, well, what you do in the event, which I think is pretty interesting. I don't think it's super complicated. Fairly simple. You just choose a path, you go down it, you upgrade the buildings, and you win battles. That's it. But I like the fact you interact with it a bit more, and it's just a bit more interesting for kind of how you actually complete it and get to the Prowler at the end. And on top of that, a great reward. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool event. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But yeah, thanks all for watching.